students of the 6th grade. Welcome to our lesson. The theme of today's lesson is comparative adjectives. Let's start. Let me introduce you learning objectives that this lesson is contributing to. Use speaking and listening skills to solve problems creatively and cooperatively in groups. Use appropriate subject-specific vocabulary and syntax to talk about a limited range of general topics, general and curricular topics. Write with support a sequence of short sentences in a paragraph on a limited range of familiar general topics. To use comparative adjectives on a limited range of familiar general topics. Now it is time for warm-up. Look at these two pictures. Here are two cities, Brighton and Tokyo. Now, answer the question, dear students. What are the differences between the two cities? Yes, you are right. Brighton is smaller than Tokyo. Tokyo is more modern. Students, then let me introduce you comparative adjectives. Dear students, this is Jack. This is Mike. Jack is short. Mike is tall. It means Jack is shorter than Mike. Mike is taller than Jack. We often compare things and people, and to do this we use comparative adjectives. For example, smaller, taller, shorter, bigger. If the adjectives have only one syllable, we make comparative form by adding the suffix er. For example, short, shorter. Here are more examples. Small, smaller, tall, taller. Here we doubled the final consonants. Old, older, hot, hotter. They have only one syllable, that's why we added er. Adjectives have two or more syllables. We add before the adjective the words more. For example, sociable, more sociable. Interesting, more interesting. Boring, more boring. Here you see that these adjectives has two and more syllables. Here is the same example. Jack is shorter than Mike. Mike is more sociable than Jack. Have you noticed the word than? We use it to compare two things and people. Dear students, there are special cases related comparative adjectives. If adjectives have two and more syllables ending in y, in order to make comparative, we change y to I. Then we add our suffix er. For example, easy, easier, lazy, lazier, happy, happier, funny, funnier. Or maybe you can also just add words more before such kind of adjectives. Irregular forms. They are called irregular adjectives. For example, good is better, bad is worse, when the word far is further or farther. For example, Paris is farther or further from the here than Berlin. And now, dear students, open your books, Page 97, exercise 2. Complete the sentences, do the quiz, then listen and check. The first link is for completing the sentences. You may find the links below the video. If you clicked, you would go to website flippity.net. Here, you should write your name. Then, by continuing, you see the sentences that you have to complete by choosing answers. For example, Tokyo is, by our rules, will be the right answer, more expensive than Rome. Click the button next. The last sentence is Paris is. This is irregular adjectives. Further than Madrid from London. After you submit responses. Now, after finishing this task, you get certificate for good job. My congratulations. Students, if you have finished completing the sentences, you will do the quiz true or false by clicking next link, the second link. Go to it. As you see, if the information is true, move the sentence to the left side. If it is false, move it to the right side. In the end, don't forget to click the check mark, please. Now, I will show you the example. Okay, New York is newer than Athens. If it is true, you move it to the green side. Lovely students, the next task is exercise number 4. Look at the table. Write questions with comparative adjectives and then. Then answer the questions. Here, for you are given information about Newville and Oldington. You should use these adjectives, comparative adjectives, after put the questions. Also, you should answer them. For example, is Oldington older than Newville? Yes, it is. Is Oldington more friendly than Newville? I hope that these examples were useful for you. You should do the same with the half. The next task, according to the exercise 5, you should look at the photos of Nur Sultan and Almaty. This is going to be an amazing, incredible task about our main cities. Write your opinions about them in comparison. Use these ideas, the architecture, the air, life, the streets, the countryside. For example, I think that the architecture is better. Continue your opinions about them. It is all the time for reflection. At the end of our lesson, dear students, I want to know 3 comparative adjectives you learned, 2 activities you liked, and 1 challenge. It means difficulty you experienced. Please tell me your answers. Your home task will be the first one, to compare 2 cities. The second task is to do the quiz. I have sent you already this link. My dear students, I think that our lesson was effective and useful for